my latest report from deep in the heart of suburbia, Kiwara Beach. Made a bit of an idiot of myself today. I actually got the guy around for the antenna guy, one of the antenna companies. He popped around, a very nice guy named Kevin came round and checked out my TV and the Foxtel connector, and he came up with a brilliant idea, which for some unknown reason I hadn't thought of, to basically just tune the TV. That's all I had to do, and the signal for broadcast TV was back. So I felt like a total dill, as you do. I thought he was going to charge me for a visit. He didn't actually. He just said, put it down as a quote so I won't have to pay anything. He did say to me though that the aerial's very long in the tooth. It's fairly underpowered with the booster, and that I'll probably get pixelated pictures of the football when I'm trying to watch it. So he doesn't think it's going to be long for the world anyway, and I'll need to get a replacement aerial and booster, and it's going to be about $500 worth apparently. But he seemed pretty straight down the line, and I was rather impressed by his customer service. He rang me a couple of times to tell me where he was, and it's chalk and cheese compared to the other guy who's got about 10 times more reviews, but has basically let me down twice. So, what are you going to do? I think it's obvious which way I'm going to go. So that was good in a way. I felt like an idiot, but at least it didn't burn a hole in my pocket. The other thing I noticed today was one of my plants looks particularly sick. I mean, I only just bought it last Tuesday, and it's the Vietnamese Vietnamese mint, and it looking really sick. I gave it a drink. I think that's what's required. It might need to be repotted. A bit concerned about it though. I thought it'd be a fairly hardy plant, but it's not. It's the one that's actually faded. All the others seem to be okay. I desperately need some new mulch and also some compost to put on the current garden beds, because they're hard as a rock. So it's impossible to work with a trowel or even a spade. I've got a trowel, spade, and I've also got a fork, and none of them can really dig through particularly well. It's just totally matted with roots and just hard clay soil. So what I'm going to do is I've sent a message, an email to the Northern, what are they called again? Northern Raw something or other. Raw Materials, that's right. Northern Raw Materials, who have all the potting mix and compost and mulch and all that good stuff. And they deliver for a little over $30 to Kiwara Beach, so I'll get myself maybe a couple of cubic metres of material of each one. You'll get a couple of cubic metres of mulch, and I'll get a couple of cubic metres of the compost. And that will probably set me back about $250 or more, maybe $270. The original quote was around $270, which included gypsum. I think you've got to be careful with gypsum because it can leach out some goodness from the soil as well. So you don't want to just throw it down willy-nilly on anything you think's clay, because it could actually lead to you reducing the goodness in the soil. You don't want to do that. So you've got to be careful about the whole process. Another person that contacted me today I didn't expect was actually the electrician. So they're going to come round hopefully in about an hour's time. It's about 2:30, and they'll give me a quote on getting LED lighting. So there's a local electrician, I think they're called Southern Cross Electrics. Yeah. Southern Cross Electric. So I'm a bit stuffed today. I didn't sleep well last night. Still got the hay fever. There's some pollen in the air. It's quite overcast today and a little damper than usual, but It's been quite sunny and dry, but that might actually be helping a little bit. I'm not as bad as I was yesterday. And I've got to get more of those antihistamines because they do seem to do the trick. They're not, they basically counteract the symptoms, not the cause, of course, but that's okay. At least it gives me some relief. Yeah, it does knock you about. You get major hay fever for a while. I got over it when I was in Parramatta Park, and I've got another bout of it here. Different location in Cairns, different mix of vegetation, I guess. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting hold of the this extra organic material for the garden. It's desperately needed so I can start repotting. The other, because the one I bought at Bunnings, I just don't have much time. I think it's a dodgy potting mix. I don't want to really use it too widely because it's had reports of having mould and other crap in it. So again, it might do more harm than good. You're rolling the dice a bit when you buy cheap potting mix, so I wouldn't recommend it. I think today apparently I'm going to get my Kmart delivery, which will be again plant related in that it's actually a wooden structure that will hold plants on several levels. So that'll be good to have. Put it outside. I might have to lacquer it just to protect it from the elements. I've definitely got a leak just near the back door there, so I haven't heard from the guy that does the roofing. He hasn't got around yet, and I'm going to need some work on that. I definitely need to get something done regarding landscaping. I haven't heard from the second landscaping mob either. So yeah, there's a few people I haven't heard from. I haven't heard from a locksmith yet. Wise Locksmith. They got a good write-up online, but they haven't got back to me at all. Maybe they're just flat out. I think I will hear from them. Like I say, it was a big relief that the aerial guy came around today, and he seemed like a pretty decent sort of guy, and it seems like a reasonable company to deal with, even though the $500 would burn a bit of a hole in my pocket if it provides you with pictures that aren't pixelated, because at the flat, when I was watching the football, again, I always got pixelated pictures from time to time, and apparently it's just because there's not enough juice going into the signal. You need a stronger booster. I think he said there are 50 or something watts, or I can't remember what the measurement was, but it's something in the 50 range, and now the new one's going to be about 75, so they give you a lot more wiggle room. And over time, apparently the aerials just degenerate anyway with the weather, so I guess that makes sense. Unless you put it in the cavity inside the roof, I guess that would protect them more, but I suppose it wouldn't be as effective as an aerial. Not sure, I'm just guessing on that one. But anyway, my vacuum cleaner should also be arriving with that wooden structure for the for putting plants on. So I'm getting there by slowly but surely. It does appear I've got a full redraw facility on the account. One of my subscribers confirmed that for me because she's got one herself. And I looked through a bit of the literature. It does appear as if that can be done quite easily. I've transferred funds into my housing loan and knocked about 20 grand off it. So that, although I just got a text message saying that the repayments were the full 160. Now I don't know whether they're going to adjust that before it's the due time, or they're going to just take. Well, I should just say they'll take it out automatically anyway, but I would be surprised if they don't adjust it. It seems pretty crazy if they're trying to withdraw the same sums of money. It should actually be adjusted for the interest they charge on what's left of the principal, I would have thought. But anyway, I'm not sure exactly how they calculate it, but I do know that it's given me that extra redraw amount. I can go and take it and spend it if I need to. But in the meantime, it should actually be reducing my interest burden. That's how it should work in theory, and hopefully that's how it does work. I think there's a bit of sanity going back to the world now, and people like Mr. Fauci, the great god of corona virus, he seems to have fallen off his pedestal, and that's a good thing. I think there's quite a few people that need to go the same way. apparently he was in cahoots with another wonderful icon of the new millennium, Bill Gates. I wouldn't spit on the old Bill baby if he walked past me. Wouldn't bother. Not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Mr. Jeff Bezos either, who's sort of like a pretender when it comes to space flight and just lives in the shadow of Elon Musk. And that's the way it's going to be for him, I think. I can't see him rising to any prominence at all. He's just going to basically try suing SpaceX because they're not getting the contracts from NASA. SpaceX and NASA seem to be very cosy at the moment, and that's a good sign for NASA, in my opinion, because I think SpaceX are making space flight look simple, which is incredible because it's anything but simple. But there was just another launch yesterday, and I saw it on my big screen. I did it actually with using Wi-Fi, and I could see the whole thing on the 65 inch, I should say, screen. So yeah, nice big image of another Falcon 9 going into space. Very impressive stuff. Anyway, that's it. At the moment, it's just going to be tomorrow. I might actually be free, and I might actually take the dreaded bus into Smithfield. You never know. That's where I'll be doing that's how I'll be doing my shopping with Woolies. But I don't think I'll be doing any personal shopping at Coles again because their delivery system seems to work pretty well. So I'm going to do the bulk of my grocery shopping via Coles simply because they've made it affordable and convenient to have stuff delivered. I'm going to try for a midweek delivery this week, which will be even cheaper still. It'll only cost me $2 according to what I've read. So that'll be interesting to see if I can pull that off. That'll be an amazing deal if that's true. It's great service, and like I say, the cheapest delivery I can get with Woolworths is $13, so they're just not even in the ballpark. So maybe they need to have a look at their business model. One can only hope. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great.